Welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series on small business owners who are getting the move on. And our guest this week, well, he is as cool as a pool on a warm, sunny day. This is Small Business Celebration. Welcome, where we chat with real business owners who have real success and learn from them about what works, what doesn't, and who want you to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train. Join us where you can learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. Welcome to Small Business Celebration, and our guest this week is Trevor Smith, the owner of Cool Pools. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Thanks, Michael. My name is Trevor Smith. I'm the owner of Cool Pools Service and Repair.
Now, Visioneers, you may recognize the background if you're watching this on YouTube, because we are here at Duranco Rentals here at 7501 East Brundage Lane here in Bakersfield. And we like to thank them for the use of their facility because it's still winter when we were recording this, and there's not a lot of great pools to be able to shoot this and be able to show it here on video. And if you're listening to this program and you hear the telephone ringing, you hear a baby talking, you hear customers talking with the employees, well, it's because the showroom is open for business. So make sure you make your way down here to Duranco Rentals for all of your party and event needs. And for you, Trevor, you are in the pool business, and how many years have you been in the pool business?
Been doing it for almost 20 years. I've been saying nearly 20 years for a while.
Why is that?
Because, well, we're officially at the 18-year mark, right? So that puts us over and to the nearly. And I worked with friends, you know, while I was in college, so that we could hurry up and maybe get out of town and go have some fun. And so a little more than 18 officially, but it's nearly 20. So that's what I've been saying, thankfully, for a while.
You do a lot of pool maintenance, and what size of pools, what types of pools do you typically do?
We're on the residential side.
Okay.
Kind of just do your sort of normal backyard at home, and there's some very nice pools out there, and there's some maybe pools like mine that are just kind of, you know, normal, let's say. And so, yeah, we come in each week and we do, you know, either a chemical only service or a full service. And they all vary, you know, every pool is a little different. You know, I say they're a snowflake. You can move one return jet 3 feet that way, same pool next door. And you move one thing that way and one tree right here, and all bets are off. So they're all different, but that's what we do, and we've seen a lot, and that's what you get. With us is that we know we've seen a lot, and we can make them all work.
For a lot of visionaries, you're looking at this because it's February. No, March.
It is March.
Oh my goodness! You know, St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner. But it's still a little too cold, even here in Bakersfield, to swim. So, what is it that you're doing right now for a lot of pool owners? Because I don't know about you, I'm not thinking about putting on a bathing suit and plunging right now.
Well, yeah, no, I understand. Some people do get in and do the old polar bear plunge, I guess you call it. But you know, what we're doing though is we're prepping, and that's what we do all year. Really, it's you have to look ahead, and I'd rather be proactive than reactive. And so what we're doing right now is we're gearing up for the summer. So what we want to do is, these are my tips. It starts with chemistry. You want to test it. You know, you got to know where you are to start.
You're talking about the water.
Correct, water chemistry. And so you test it out, see how things are looking. If you need to drain it, well, now's the time, because the sun's going to start warming it.
Why would you drain your pool?
The water does become oversaturated at some point with what we call total dissolved solids.
Okay, like salts and minerals and that sort of thing?
Yeah, everything. Iron, copper, magnesium, all of it. That is total dissolved solids.
Right.
There's a few we look for in particular, like calcium hardness.
There's a lot of calcium in my neighborhood that makes it into the water.
Well, yeah, exactly. So we're in an alkaline valley, and it's gonna happen. And so, we want to check that, and if it's oversaturated, I like to say it's like taking a glass of iced tea and you like it real, real sweet. All right?
Right.
And you keep adding sugar. At some point, that sugar stops dissolving.
Right.
And that's an oversaturation.
Okay.
Okay? I get a little chatty, so stop me.
That's all right.
But at some point, it stops sanitizing. The effective chlorine is running into inert material
Right.
and not doing what it's supposed to do, which is kill the bad stuff.
Oh, okay.
So you want to drain it. It's for sanitary purposes, really.
Right.
But also overall clarity and bather comfort is what
Sure.
we call it.
I know several of my friends don't have chlorine pools, or maybe it's a misnomer because they call it a saltwater pool. What's the difference between the two?
The difference between the salt-generated chlorine pool and a different type of chlorine distribution is there's liquid chlorine, there's granular, there's tablet type
Right.
chlorine, and then your salt system generates chlorine for you. So that's where the misnomer comes, is that people say, I'm allergic to chlorine, I have a salt pool.
Right.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't like to tell this joke to everyone, but your tap water is chlorinated. You know?
Right.
So
Sure,
there's very,
sure.
very few people in this world that are
Truly.
allergic to chlorine.
To chlorine, right.
Yeah.
Do you have a size limitation to the size residential pool to which you operate?
No, there's not a size difference that we would say no to. It's just a matter of the challenges that we have and ultimately the price, So they don't build them like they used to. So
Okay.
there's some very, very large pools in this town.
Right,
So
right,
they
right.
used to build them really big. And that pool is there and someone's got to deal with it.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's some pools that are in really rough shape and they're really large,
Right.
and people have limited funds to deal with it or manage it. Rather, I don't guess I like to say deal with things, but it's managing this big body of water, and it's all possible, but it costs different
Right.
things.
Sure.
And then equipment to help to manage that too.
One of the things we're going to talk about in the next segment is changes in technology, and pools are not immune to that either, just like Trevor just mentioned and referred to. But before we do that, Trevor, you're in business with your brother, are you not?
Yes, we are in a lot of ways. He does own his own pool service business.
Right.
But he does a lot of work for me.
Oh, okay.
And with me,
Sure. It's a family business.
That's right. We're on the same team. That's for sure.
What kinds of services are you promoting for your ideal customer right now?
We're on the service side, so that's what we do, and that's the way we're able to help in the biggest way is to get our eyes and ears in your backyard each week, every week. And so, myself and my technicians, we see the problems and we can hear it. And, I used to joke, I don't need to test your water chemistry, I can smell it. I can see it,
Sure,
I can hear it, I can't even tell you why I know.
And if visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Probably the best way is to call or text me at 661-472-5288. And my email address is coolpools1@sbcglobal.net. My wife does look at the Facebook page, and that's all I got for social media for right now.
And if you like Small Business Celebration, go ahead and like, subscribe, and notify. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about advances in technology. And yes, it impacts the pool business too, and so it can impact your business as well, which we'll talk more about when we come right back. 80 years. For 80 years, the Cleroux family has owned and operated Cleroux Tire by bringing families and businesses like yours the quality tires and brake service you would expect to keep your family and your business safe for thousands and thousands of miles at a time. Visit Cleroux Tire at 530 East 21st Street in Bakersfield, or give them a call at 661-324-6069 and discover the Cleroux Tire difference for your family and your business. 80 years. Call Clarue Tire at 661-324-6069 or visit them at claroutire.com. That's CLEROU tire.com today. I'm here with Trevor Smith, the owner of Cool Pools, and our Visioneer question comes from Mandy, who asks, our industry technology has evolved a lot in the last 10 years. What do you say to past customers who complain that what they bought from you 10 years ago is no longer compatible with the technology of today, especially when both technologies, quote unquote, seem to be the same thing?
I heard and seen that question, in the business, and I can imagine it makes sense in other industries as well. So for us, most of the stuff we do, I would say has a realistic lifespan of around 5 years.
Really?
However, about 5 and 10 years ago, there were some new technologies on the market, and they're really nice. And I'm talking about the variable speed pumps.
Okay.
In the UL, they're really quiet. They are a different technology. It's a brushless permanent magnet, so they run slow and cool to the touch. All these fun things. And in theory, yes, they could and would last 10 years, and some of them are still running like a champ.
Right.
But we've begun seeing some failures, but that doesn't mean it's going to communicate technology-wise with the old remote.
Oh, right. Because you have to replace them because of the end of life. Just like you would a computer or something like that.
Yeah, and so that does happen, and we're managing it, and the manufacturers are getting on board, most of them, or they're working on it to have other brands talk with other brands, communication.
Finally, huh?
Yeah, finally, and some, I don't blame them for holding out their intellectual property,
Because it costs money to develop that stuff.
It does, and I don't know, it's nice for everything to be matching, but gosh, you got to be able to choose, I guess.
As a business owner, and it's not just the pool industry, but a lot of industries are facing this right now. Outside of what you're working with the customers on, how are you and your business going through and working with the developing technologies?
The way we're doing it is, well, one, we're cautiously bringing in these new things.
Okay.
So I will resist technology like my cell phone and Bluetooth until you get a hold of it and you can't let go. Right. And so...
Do you still have a pager?
No. You got me. I was like, what? Where is my pager? Did it go off? So, we're working with what we've got. And we're trying out some of these new things, but some of it's just the hot new thing. But the way we're dealing with it or working with it is we're watching and waiting to see and talking with our distributors and our friends in the business, see what's working and what's not. As well as I'm excited to say, well, I'm going to the Western Pool and Spa Show here next week, and so taking one of my guys as well. It'll be his first time. It's been shut down the past couple of years, so we're going to see all the bells and whistles and all the hot new stuff. Right. But I'm very accustomed to all that, and I do know I guess felt guilty or trapped by the bells and whistles. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. We're doing this for everyone. But I know that about myself, so I get excited, but then I bring it back and try to be focused. And really, again, with every pool is a snowflake. You gotta, every pool is so specific, and the customer is specific, price and availability and things like that.
You mentioned that you're going to the Pool and Spa Expo, and that's in Vegas?
No, Long Beach. Long Beach. Yeah.
But when you get back from that, it sounds like you're going to be taking a vacation or like to take some time off before the beginning of the pool season comes into swing.
Lately, been camping with the family. Okay. And
you talking about pitching up a tent?
Right. No.
Okay. All right.
So we do the camper and glamping. Okay. Exactly. Right. Yep. And in fact, we have stayed in Long Beach, and the campsite is like a 3-minute walk to the aquarium.
Nice.
And so Man, I'll tell you what though, you make a little fire, you're camping.
Sure,
and
sure.
that's it.
The minute the marshmallows and the graham cracker bread and the chocolate comes out,
You're
game
camping.
on. Yes.
You're camping.
Yes.
So we love that. We have a really good time.
What have you learned from glamping that you've applied to your business?
I guess, it's part of that taking a break thing. I was going to say work hard, play hard. That's a little cliche, but it's true though. The way we camp is we do just little weekend shots and we do them frequently.
Yeah, like so once a month? Or,
yeah, we
really?
really try. When we're doing good, well, sort of dark months, so we get about 7 or so per year.
Right.
And I like it that way. I do like the concept. The longest we've ever stayed anywhere, I think, was 4, maybe 5 nights.
Right.
So I don't do the week or 2 week in a row.
But they're usually
thing.
like 1 or 2 nights.
No, like a 2 or 3 night. So we'll go to the beach, we'll go to the mountains. We've got Kernville in our backyard.
Right.
Shaver Lake. We have so many. Kern County. We've got so many assets in our. We're cousins. We're all cousins.
Is the importance of that monthly getaway important?
Well, it is, yeah. So it's family time. It's a lot of work to do all that, but it's I don't know. It's good work. It's hard. Hard work is good work, I guess, in my mind.
Right.
With the boys, we were talking about gardening earlier too, and I want them to get their hands dirty, but I don't know. They're not that as into it, but that's all right.
Right.
Maybe lead by example, so to speak. I'm out there sweating or freezing in the rain, whatever. And they see that, and I do boss them around.
Got to play dad at some point.
A little bit.
Taking this monthly break away for the weekend and whatnot, how has that helped you specifically with your business?
It's made me more focused at times. There was something else I was thinking, but I missed it already. But it makes you focus to, hustle up and get it done effectively to where you can turn it off. And I'm actually pretty good at turning it off.
Right.
When it's time, when I'm off the phone, it's off the phone.
Right.
And I'm pretty good at it, and I'm thankful for that.
Right.
I guess I got lucky because I didn't have to make myself do it too hard.
Right.
But so I think that's a big takeaway, is to push hard, be effective in the time while you're working, and then when you're not working, to try to be present. A good friend of mine, he was talking about when I'm at work, I'm thinking about my trip, and when I'm at my trip, I'm looking at my phone and thinking about work.
Ooh.
And that's the worst. You got to be present with what you're doing. So while you're working, work.
Right.
And while you're not working, don't work.
Family is very important to you.
Mm-hmm.
You had, and we were talking a little bit off camera prior to this, and you had an incident where you had your house flood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what happened?
Well, so we had a toilet flood, and it was, a little unpleasant. We'll say that. But so we call it the great
little bathroom humor, huh?
Well, a little bathroom humor, yeah. It's not as bad as it could have been. How about that? That's for certain. But so we called it the Great Flood of 2015.
Sure.
And we had our baby Luke was under 1 year old. Wow. I don't remember. I'm not good with those kind of numbers. But and then we ended up sort of living in a hotel for 7 weeks
with a barely 1 year old.
With a barely 1 year old, and it was a clean enough hotel. We made it home quick enough, and it worked out well. It was a nice place, but. It was, small. It was really fun. We got to make it work on the family side, but then on the business side, it did change the way I operated.
Really? How so?
Well, I still work from home, and I'm looking to go off-site entirely at some point soon. But I'd have to come out each morning. Leave the hotel and come meet the guys in the morning. Right. At my old house, it was, stripped down pretty good. It was not livable, right?
Right.
So we're just working on the side yard, the area, and getting everyone loaded up and get out and about. And so it was a pretty pivotal moment in that it took out some of the normalcy of just kind of getting out of bed and doing it whenever you want, so to speak. And we really kind of tuned up a few things and made it more streamlined. Or, so that was the base. I had to do it. I didn't really choose that part.
How did the efficiency improve? Because you said you had to streamline some things. How did that help your business?
Right. So, well, because I was on such a schedule, and the guys, we weren't as scheduled before. So we all had to be there at our respective times, really. So basically the route guys and I had to have our meeting at the right time. Like before, I would, kind of let them come in. They would stagger coming in, or maybe be late, and I wouldn't worry about it as much. And I still don't worry too much, or I try not to. I'm a pretty scheduled type guy, but I want to understand that things happen. Right. And so anyway, we started doing that on the route side, and then I had the repair side that I began to manage, and each task has a time, and that was, I guess, one of the base moments of making that happen.
In the first segment, we mentioned that Trevor is in business with his brother. Now, we have heard time and time again that working with siblings is a horrible thing, which is the visionary question we're going to address when we come right back. The reason we're here with Trevor Smith, the owner of Cool Pools, is because of a visionary question that came from a visionary just like you. They wanted to find out, how do I deal with this ever-changing technology, and more importantly, how do I communicate that to my customer? So if you've got a question, you've got a thought, something you'd like to learn about here on Small Business Celebration, reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and let us know your thoughts. What do you want to learn about? From whom do you want to learn about? Reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today. I'm here with Trevor Smith, the owner of Cool Pools, and our visionary question comes from Doug, who asks, my sister wants to join our business and everyone tells me it's a bad idea. Not because she wouldn't be an asset to the business, but because siblings are the worst people to work with. What rules do you have in place to not let your relationship blow up?
First of all, siblings are the worst.
Okay, sure.
And I don't have rules, but my brother and I, we didn't work together for a very long time in both of our businesses. So he's been in the pool business for, I want to say about 15 years, maybe 14.
Are you the older brother?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Of course, and I'm more handsome and all these things. So, and he'll tell you too.
Right.
But yeah, we didn't work together because we were nervous. We were really nervous, and we did butt heads at times, right. And then we kind of started to, and we did butt heads during it a little bit, but it just kind of worked out. And we actually were having a conversation a month or 3 months ago or so. Bringing other guys into the repair side of things. So we're trying to bring on new guys, and he and I have just said to each other, you gotta give it time and give it space to just learn how you guys work together. There's gonna be spats. So you guys we're gonna, because you remember when I did this, and I remember when you did that.
Right.
And
right.
we really did a few, but we got really lucky, and it's really worked well. We don't have those spats, at all that I can remember, really. Right. I know there's times where we're a little bit frustrated with either the job or each other. Right. But we just don't remember them. I don't anyway, because I'm good at turning it off. When it's done, it's done. Right. And so I don't know if I don't have any rules. I guess my advice would be to just give it a shot, give it time, be patient, and understand that people remember things differently, and they take notes differently. Just be patient.
Right. One of the things, too, for a lot of business owners is the challenge of minding the numbers. And this is something that you have spoken frequently about with other business owners. And is this something that you've got mastered and licked down? And
No.
okay.
Not at all. Not very well.
Right.
So I've been working it hard, in the past 2 years, but just always, I've always sort of struggled with it, and I've always known that anytime anyone asks me, or just as new in the business, if they ask me anything, I'm like, you just gotta please watch your numbers.
Why is that?
It's cash flows, and I used to, think that was like a slang word, like I'm worried about my cash flow or whatever. That's how I sort of felt about it, but it's very real, and because it sometimes flows well and sometimes doesn't. And so if you're not on top of it, you'll find yourself in the sometimes doesn't category more often.
And that puts you out of business.
That's right, yeah. I did hear that recently with the pool trade specifically. And I would imagine it translates to other industries too, with all these supply line issues and the increases of prices. If you don't manage that right now, you're going to run yourself right out of business quickly.
Right. First of all, you've got somebody doing your books for you now.
Yes. I have Christina Springstead and Mike Springstead of Springstead Solutions. They're doing excellent work for me, and Christina has got me in check most of the time, and if I'm not, she'd say, I'm working on it and I'll work harder at it. She's great. We work well together.
Right.
And so that's part of, we've talked about having, people on your team, and she is definitely one of them. And so her, as well as my accountant, and I'm sure others as well that are helping me with all the finances.
Do you have a group of people with whom you surround yourself?
Yeah, so we were talking about, the BNI and the networking.
What's BNI?
It's Business Networking International.
Okay.
And it's a networking group. We meet here in Bakersfield at 7 a.m. on Fridays. So if anyone wants to...
Where at?
At Hodel's.
Hodel's, okay.
Hodel's Country Dining.
Okay.
And great people over at Hodel's as well. So if anyone's interested, give me a call. I'd love to have you at our meeting.
Why has belonging to BNI been so important for you in your business?
Yeah, so it's the really for me, it's the relationships I've had with them. So I've been in this group since 2012.
Really? Almost nearly from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of people have mistakenly called me a charter member, and I wasn't. But very close, very close.
You don't have enough gray hair to be a charter member.
No, but close. So, no, it's a great group, and some of my biggest mentors and dearest friends have come from there, So there's a couple of those guys in there, and that I have leaned on so many times and so hard when I was struggling.
Right.
And, it's just been great.
Why is having mentors like this so important?
First of all, I don't know many pool guys in any BNI, right? So these are guys that I don't run into, They're in financial services or doctors or things of, that are just different than the service industry, let's just say, right? So they're so different, but then they still have similar challenges, and we all have, families and like to camp or fish or whatever. So we're all the same, but we're different, and it's just been great.
What makes you wake up every morning and open your business?
Yeah, so for me, it's going to be, my guys and my team.
Really?
So the people in my network, which is sometimes sort of large, but then I don't know, it's small to me. It's very personal, you know.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it just comes down to my guys. You know, I want them to be happy and you know, fulfilled, and we're working on all those things. And so, I told you once that they might say the customers come first or always right, and I agree at a large part. And that starts with taking care of your people, you know. So if we're all right in our minds and hearts, and we're out moving and happy, we're gonna make our customers happy, you know. They're gonna have, you know, a nice pool, and we'll all have fun. That's the point, is that if we're good and you're good, I'm good.
If visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Well, again, you can call me at 661-472-5288. Text messages works too. My email address is coolpools1@sbcglobal.net. And my wife does do the Facebook.
And the website?
Oh yeah, coolpoolsbakersfield.com. It's up and active. It's very pretty. I hope it works well for you. I think it looks beautiful, but I don't know how to work it, so that's part of my team. I got a guy for that.
You got a guy for that. Well, Trevor, this has been a real privilege. Thank you very much for joining us here on Small Business Celebration.
Michael, thank you for the invite. It's been a real pleasure.
Well, thank you. And I'll be right back with my final thought.
Michael, thank you for the invite. It's been a real pleasure.
Well, thank you. And I'll be right back with my final thought. 80 years. For 80 years, the Cleroux family has owned and operated Cleroux Tire by bringing families and businesses like yours the quality tires and brake service you would expect to keep your family and your business safe for thousands and thousands of miles at a time. Visit Cleroux Tire at 530 East 21st Street in Bakersfield, or give them a call at 661-324-6069 and discover the Cleroux Tire difference for your family and your business. 80 years. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 or visit them at ClerouxTire.com. That's CLEROU Tire.com today. The rising tide of security. One of the reasons why I enjoyed having Trevor Smith with Cool Pools on Small Business Celebration this week is because as a personality type, he's kind of an outlier. Many of our guests on the show tend to be very decisive, direct, or they tend to be very inventive and inspirational, or they often are very cautious and competent. But every once in a while, you get a guest like Trevor, who wants to be safe, secure, supportive. He's the type that lives by the John Frederick Kennedy quote, "A rising tide lifts all boats." Oftentimes, this type of business owner is frowned upon because they seem flighty, they can't seem to concentrate. They have a hard time staying on topic and being decisive when the time is needed. However, this is also the business owner that is the ultimate coalition builder. This is the business owner who figures out very quickly that in order to be successful, that business owner needs to fill and surround him or herself with people stronger and more competent in areas that he is not. I know as somebody who is not his personality type, this is something that I can learn from and have applied. Because after all, we are not alone in the business world, and a rising tide does lift all boats. I hope you enjoyed our conversation this week with Trevor Smith, the owner of Cool Pools, and I hope you learned something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business, and we'll see you here again next week. By the way, what did the cat say when he was asked what 2 minus 2 is?
2 2 minus 2. I don't know.
Nothing.
I like it. I like it.
Welcome to Small Business Celebrate. And one of the things we're going to talk about in the next segment that you'll want to stay tuned for is that very thing that he was just talking about was different pools are... See, I screw up as much as you do. It's okay.
I'm about to jinx you. I feel like I jinxed you.
It's all right. It's all right. And one of the things we're going to talk about in the next segment is the changes in technology and how pools are not immune to that either. And this also comes to what Trevor was just talking about, how changes in technology also... Thank you, Trevor. All right. We're going to... Okay. All right.
We're good. We're good.
All right.